Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be bringing you my Greatsword Hatchet Guide for Season 5. Alright, I first wanted to start off with the artifacts, which ones I'm running and where you can find them. So we'll start with the Featherweight. The Featherweight can be found in Fungal Ridge and it drops from Nurmur. It's a non-elite boss, so it's pretty easy to solo. Next we have the Serenity for the Greatsword. This you can get off the PvP track, but you need to be level 20 plus. And finally we're using Endless Thirst. This one's not really required, but the Empowering Toast and Fortifying Toast on it's pretty nice, and you can get this from Aeternum from Savage Divide, the final boss. Alright, now since we are using the Featherweight for our artifact chest piece, we can run a heavy helm and heavy gloves followed by light pants and light boots to stay in that light equip load, so that we will be dealing more damage. We are squishier, but that's okay. So we decided to go for a full shirking set. So we have shirking on every piece except the Featherweight. I wanted to keep this more of like a neutral piece just so I can use it for other things, so I just put health on it. Alright, now for most of these, I just rolled Shirking Heals plus Weapon perk. So we have Distance Throw here, we have Infected Throw here. This one I rolled Shirking Energy with Shirking Heals. I think having Shirking Energy on one piece is really good. And then here we rolled Shirking Heals and Relentless Freedom, and we ended up rolling Health for the third perk. I do think Health is the ideal third perk just because it'll allow you to take advantage of the Shirking Heals more to get more back on your proc of it, because it does scale with your max health. Alright, so now I want to go over the perks for the Serenity. The Serenity comes with Trenchant Strikes, Trenchant Crits, and Refreshing Move. I put a gem setting pin in it for the final upgrade of it at the kiln, so it allows me to slot a gem into it. And the reason we're using the Serenity over a regular one is just basically more damage. You could use a regular one if you wanted to, but the Serenity gives you a 2% stacking in power when you're attacking, and then it gives you a 2% fortify when you're being hit. Now for the hatchet part of the build, there are two hatchets that I would usually choose from. The one, I have Keen Speed on it. It's nice to be able to root somebody with social distance and then chase them down with the Greatsword itself. And when Keen Speed procs for that, it feels really, really good. And the next one is more of a healer hunting build, I guess. So we have the Plagued Crits, just to deny them healing themselves, so we can stay on top of them longer and hopefully secure the kill faster. Now that we're done with the weapons, we'll move on to the Heart Rune. My primary Heart Rune of choice is Stone Form. Usually when I'm playing the build, I'm going for more just fighting on point in clumps. I just find that to be more fun than, you know, running at people solo or anything. There's a few different choices, so Stone Form is one of them. The next would be if you want more burst, so if you are trying to just like 1v1 or hunt down healers, Cannon Blast is pretty good for that. The next is Vines, which is another great one for fighting on point. Inflicting Ren and Weaken on people is really, really good. So that's another good point fighting one. And then another good one for healers or 1v1s is also Bile. So depending on what you're trying to do in that exact moment, you know, what you're feeling like playing, any of these Heart Runes are fine choices for that. In the last part of our gear, we're just going to go over the jewelry. So we have a Tanglevine Amulet with just Thrust Protection. Switch to Flame Protection if you feel like you need it for the match that you're in. That's perfectly fine. Next, we have Hardy / Damage Ring. You want the ring to have at least those two perks, but Refreshing is definitely not ideal. You want Healing Breeze or Invigorated Punishment. And for the last one, we have the Endless Thirst. We're using this for the extra heals off of our consumes, and also the Empowering and Fortifying Toast. Alright, now I want to cover the gems. So the gems, we're using Rune Glass of Punching Opal in the weapons and the armor. The armor is giving us 2% damage absorption from elements and 1% melee damage. That's in all 5 pieces. So that's 2.5% elemental damage trade-off for an additional 5% melee damage, which is pretty good. And then in the weapons, we're getting 9% damage when our stam's not full, and an additional 2% melee damage. Okay, next we'll cover the weapon masteries for the Greatsword. I'm not going to go over each individual point. We'll just kind of say what the abilities do and why we're using them. So the first one, Steadfast Strike, we're using this just because it's a way to stagger people, but also if you stam yourself and you use this, you'll basically instantly regen all your stamina. So if you have poor management, or if you just, you just run out, that's a good way to just quickly regenerate it. The next we have Relentless Rush. Now this is one of the abilities that is an onslaught. So once you use it, you will be taking more damage, but dealing more damage. So that's important to note, the different colors of the abilities. But yeah, this is basically just a spin. It's a gap closer, and it does decent damage. And then the next one, we have Skyward Slash. Now this one, the only real important thing with this is to know that the first proc, when you click the button, not the heavy after, but the first one is going to apply disease. So it's pretty good for healers, or just anybody in general that's standing in a sacred or something. Okay, for the first hatchet tree, we have Berserk, Infected Throw, and Social Distancing. Now, Berserk is going to give you lifesteal, movement speed, and it's going to cleanse roots and stuns. Social Distance is a root, so if somebody's chasing you or you want to engage onto somebody, you can hit them with it, just a gap close. And then Infected Throw is going to imply Weaken and Disease, so it's good for 1v1s and healers. There's some points here that are kind of wasted, but we wanted the Defy Death point. This is what my other Hatchet Mastery looks like. We're going Berserk, Raging Torrent, and Social Distance. We already explained Berserk and Social Distance. Now, Raging Torrent is basically just it's 4 fast auto attacks, light attacks. So it does a lot of damage really quick. And then you'll gain haste when you hit people with it. Alright, so let's go over the attributes now. This is one setup that I have that I run. It's just 150 con, 300 strength, and then I just dump the rest into dex. This build's fine, although I do find sometimes I just feel a little bit too squishy. So that build is sometimes I'll run it. If I'm with the healer, I will definitely run it. But this is my more common build if I'm just, out there solo queuing and shit. We will go all the way and we just bump as much con. So we're 300 strength, 100 dex, and 211 con. The survivability with this is great. Get the extra 10% elemental and physical armor. And now we'll go over the consumables. This is nothing crazy, pretty quick. Health pots, mana pots, serums. The mana pots are just to proc the empowering and fortifying toast off Endless Thirst. And then before each match, we'll use the Honing Stone, the Desert Sunrise, and then whatever attribute food we need. That's going to be it for the video. I did want to say that if you don't have the full shirking set and you don't want to spend the gold right away, I would advise just trying out the Greatsword and Hatchet first, just to make sure you're not wasting a bunch of gold on it for something you don't even enjoy. But thank you for watching. I'm going to leave you guys with some clips now. I do want to know that I do stream from 10 p.m. till 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So consider stopping by, dropping a follow, saying what's up. But yeah, go ahead and like and subscribe for more content in the future. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.